Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I truly appreciate it. I, of course, am Lewis Porter Jr., and today we're going to talk about what Marvel can learn from DC about dealing with changing legacy heroes. So I was reading a little article today. I was off of Screen Rant, and Screen Rant was talking about legacy heroes in Marvel Comics, specifically with their new Iron Fist book coming out. And they mentioned some stuff about legacy heroes and replacing Iron Fist, and I've noticed that Marvel's a real problem replacing their legacy heroes. Miles Morales and probably Kamala Khan are probably the best examples of that, but it's really still a problem. I mean, the new Iron Fist, I guess, is doing okay. I guess people are interested, but are they? And then like Elektra becoming the new Daredevil, are people really interested in seeing her as Daredevil? And it really came to me. I really thought about like what's the big problem? What does it seem that Marvel doesn't get that DC gets? Because if you look at DC, DC's done replacement characters. Don't get me wrong; they've made some mistakes also. I mean, good lord, how many Flashes and Green Lanterns can we have? But the one they did like the best, and I noticed why when thinking about it, like why they did so well, was Nightwing. The original Robin, Batman, Robin, forever. And then Dick stopped being Robin. And then Dick became Nightwing. And you know what happened after that? Dick never wore the Robin costume again. And I think that's the piece that made it all perfect. See, Dick Grayson grew up, became Nightwing, and never looked back to become Robin. And other people took the mantle up as Robin and they developed their own characters. But he, as the original Robin, said, nope, I'm done with that. I'm not going back to that. I'm good. And that can basically be done for like anybody. Once you leave the mantle of it, whether you die or you're replaced, that character doesn't go back. So I was reading the newest Iron Fist, and they're still referencing Danny Rand in the book. And it's like, why? You don't want Danny Rand to be Iron Fist anymore. Check. You want to make the connection to the old fan base with this new character, and you're trying to do it that way. Yeah, I get it. Check. But why? It's a whole new character. Give this new character his own lane to breathe in. Stop trying to reconnect to the old character it was. Because here's the problem. If you keep reconnecting back to, and we can't say Iron Fist this time, Iron Fist, Danny Rand, there's no space for the new guy to grow out of. Yes, Danny Rand was Iron Fist for a long time. Get it. Love the character myself. I understand why people don't like him now in the new hip age, which is another problem in itself, but whatever. Well, you can't have Danny keep coming back. You need to move Danny off the stage, as it were, to somewhere else. Why in the world would you keep having Daniel Rand pop up in a book? And I get it because people know what Iron Fist is, but they don't know who this new guy is. Well, then make the new guy the Iron Fist. When you keep having characters come back and back and back and back and back, people, for lack of a better term, people don't see the breaking, the separation of those characters. Kamala Khan playing Ms. Marvel was a great idea. There was, the original Carol Danvers, and then Sharon Ventura, and then Kamala Khan. But neither Sharon nor Carol went back to being Ms. Marvel once they moved away. And they left it. You might have mentioned them a little bit, but it's like they were their own separate characters. This will do. We'll look at the Elektra Daredevil one that's recently happened. Elektra's her own character. She's been dressing as Daredevil, and now she's Daredevil. But she isn't Daredevil. She's Elektra because Daredevil will come back. Matt will come back. Matt will not stop being Daredevil. That's what I'm saying. You really shouldn't have two characters, the same characters running around. And I know some people are like, well, look at the Green Lanterns and Flash. We're not talking about them right now. We're talking about Marvel's inability to deal with this. When they killed off Peter Parker in the Ultimate Universe and then giving Miles Morales, that was kind of what Miles makes a connection to Peter's villains. It's must, but Miles is his own character. And yes, it took a while to Miles to develop into a character that people liked. But that's what makes the character compelling. He has to develop over time. Just because you give somebody, you made an Asian Iron Fist. Congratulations, you did that. That's great. Why should I care about him? I know why I care about Danny Rand. Danny Rand's connection to Power Man, Danny Rand's connection to Misty Knight, Danny Rand's connection to, Heroes for Hire, the Daughters of the Dragon. There's a history built onto that. And it took time. The problem is they want to do very much, I guess, like Hollywood wants to do with the movies. Just put them in there, instantly pop them up, and they'll be hot and people will love it. No, people are not going for that. People don't want that. People have not wanted that. So to even present that in this day and age is just stupid. But once again, Marvel isn't planning any good ideas. Learn from Nightwing. Learn from Nightwing. If you want to give a new Iron Fist, you got to get rid of Danny Rand. If you want to do another Daredevil, you got to get rid of Matt Murdock. Get rid of the character. That character will never be, Matt Murdock will never be Daredevil again. Danny Rand will never be Iron Fist again. And just keep moving with that. But don't go wishy-washy about it. I mean, because really what they're doing is they're basically hedging their bets because they're afraid that this guy may not, this new kid, I don't even know the kid's real name for Iron Fist. They don't know if he's going to make it. I mean, there's another character in another book that didn't sell that great, I don't think. And now you got this. So you're like, okay, well, we got to make Iron Fist cool. So what are we going to do? And it's like they didn't plan out like, okay, how do we build Iron Fist over, it sounds horrible to say, but it's true, 2, 3, 5, 10 years. What should Iron Fist look like at the end of this? So people go like, oh, I identify with this character. He can't just be Asian. Look, I'm African American. I'm very familiar with being a minority in large groups. You can't just put a black character up and say, you will like this black character because he's black. That doesn't work for me. There has to be some kind of development of the character over time. Even if I hate the character and build into what I like the character, it still takes time. I don't feel that Marvel wants to do that. DC did it with Nightwing, yeah, and they've muffed it up since, but you can look at Nightwing as a great source of strength of how to do it correctly. And there's some independent guys who are thinking, hey, you independent guys, you might have the same problem eventually. Look at Nightwing for this. This may be good for you. That's all I'm saying. I'm just trying to be helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Do me a favor. If you like what we said, put a comment below. We really appreciate it. If you like even more, subscribe. If you have something bad to say, hey, put a dislike. Still put a comment. Hey, we like to hear everything. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it, and I will talk to you all later.